Hey guys, I'm Ivory and today I'm going to be doing a full face of Milani makeup products. A lot of the products I've already tried. Some of these I'll be trying for the first time, so there's a little bit of a mix of both. So I'm first going to go in with my eyes and I'm going to use the NYX Eyeshadow Primer only because I like this eyeshadow primer and I don't know Milani's eyeshadow primer enough. Like, what if it's a bad eyeshadow primer and then their shadows are good, but I don't know that because they have a shitty eyeshadow primer. So to make sure that their shadows are good, which I think is more important, I'm going to use a primer that I trust, if that's cool with you. No objections? Okay, thank you. For the eyes, I'm going to use the Milani Gilded Nude. This is the color story right up my alley. I love dusty pinks and neutrals. So this is a nice mix of the two. In my mind, I'm envisioning a peachy type of look. That's what's in my head. As far as what my hands will execute is a mystery to both me and you. So I think I want to start off, do I want to start with this one or this one or both? I like both. I'll start off with the lighter one. So I'm going to go in with Offline and I'm going to use that as the base color. So I start off in the outer corner like always. My technique has not changed at all. And I concentrate most of this color down here. And then once there's very little shadow left is when I start to move inwards. But lately I don't move it all the way in. I kind of keep that space open because I feel like it opens up my eyes, but it helps with the lifted eye look. And if it already looks like my lashes have been done, it's because they are. I have extensions right now. I've had them for about 2 weeks at the salon that I used to work at. There's someone who does eyelash extensions and I thought I'd ask her if she would be willing to do my lashes, and she was. Now I don't have to do mascara in the morning anymore. Sometimes I do it on my lower lash line, but a lot of the time I'm lazy. So it's just nice that I have one less thing to do in the morning and it really just opens up my eyes. The only thing that's annoying about eyelash extensions though is they're addicting for one. Once you see your face with eyelash extensions, you never want to go back. Another annoying thing is that they all kind of give up around the same time. So when one goes, they all start going. So you'll see these weird gaps in between where it's your natural lashes and then the false lashes. So it kind of just looks funky and you're not sure if you should put false lashes like a band on top of them, and it's just a whole thing. So that's the only annoying thing. But if you're pretty good about not touching them and maintaining them, because I have to go get them touched up usually every 3 weeks. As long as you do that, it should be okay. The third week though that you have to go get them filled, it looks a little bit rough. With the same brush, but I'm just gonna flip it. I'm gonna add to cart, but I'm more concentrating this on the middle portion of my eye and just patting it down. And I definitely can see the color difference. These are blending out really nicely. After that, I'm gonna go into Hit Snooze and I'm just gonna focus this on the outer V. This one's a little dusty, that's okay. Good thing I did the eyes first. This happens every single time. This shape I like because it has like a little bit of a point, but this one is too round. And no matter how I try to make it pointy, it just never cooperates. This eye, it's like the lost child. It doesn't know what it wants to do. It never freaking cooperates with me. I spend so much time trying to fix the situation. I'm just like, why are you like this? Why do you do this to me? I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna go into Keep Scrolling and I'm gonna add this to my lid. I'm not sure if this brush is packing it on as nicely as I would like. So I'm gonna use my finger. Oh yeah, that's way better. Finger is the way to go. Look at that color difference. Like, this looks so much shinier and more vibrant. Okay, so these are the eyes. As you can see, we kind of strayed away from what I envisioned a little bit. It started out on the right path and then slowly but surely I put one color in and then I blended it and it just vision shattered. This is the color that ruined it. Hit Snooze, it's a nice color. It just wasn't what the vibe was for today. So if you want something lighter, either use way less than I did or just stick to the lighter shades, but it's okay. We're moving on. Even though this isn't the look I originally wanted, I will say that I really like the quality of these shadows. Everything blended out really nicely. I didn't have any issues of any sort. Fallout is standard. It's not bad at all. You could get away with doing your base first and then your eyes. I'm gonna move on to primer. I'm using the Milani Chill Out Smoothing Primer. I've tried this before. I don't really know if this does anything in terms of keeping my makeup on longer, but I love the way this feels in the morning. I wake up super early. I wake up at 6 o'clock every single day to get ready for work. This primer just feels like it was in the refrigerator. So it's very refreshing for me and it helps me just wake up. This cooling effect is so nice. I don't think it ruins my makeup or decreases the wear time of my makeup, but I also don't think it helps a ton either. My main thing that I really like about this is that it's so cooling. It reminds me of, remember the Clean and Clear Morning Burst? That's what it reminds me of. Did Clean and Clear really help with my skin or my acne? Not really, but did I really like the feeling of it on my face after I washed it? Yes. I'm moving on to foundation. I'm using the Milani Screen Queen in the shade Deep Tan 380. I haven't used this in a while. I'm pretty sure this might be my summer shade. I have done a dedicated 2-day wear test on this foundation, so I will link it up in the cards if you want something more in depth. But to sum up, I liked it enough to keep it in the sense that I was like, okay, I like it enough to at least finish the bottle, but I wouldn't repurchase it. And my main reasons why is because even though I can get it to look good, you have to do a little bit of finagling with it. For one, at least this is just my experience, you can't have a ton of product. If you're a type of person who likes to have caked on makeup, you might run into problems with this one. Because there are some foundations where as much as you keep layering it on, it still looks good. This one, after a couple hours, it will break up and it's a hot mess. So you have to be careful about how much you're using. I would say that this is more of a medium coverage. If you try to add more coverage, then you're gonna run into some problems. And it is just a little bit on the thick side in terms of formula. So that is my main gripe with this foundation. I can get it to look nice and wear well, but I do have to be a little bit careful with it. But my main thing that I really liked, which is why I kept it, was because it has the blue light filter and I'm around screens all day, whether it's a cell phone or a computer. So that part was appealing to me. I'm gonna move on to concealer. I'm using the Milani Conceal and Perfect in the shade Medium Beige. I actually really like this concealer. The consistency is really nice. The coverage is really nice. It blends out really well. I've used this a couple times at this point and I have no problems with this. This one is a win in my books. I really hate that I'm breaking out only in my chin. That's my new thing. I only break out in my chin. I ran out of the antibiotics that I take for my acne and I thought I wouldn't need to take them again because me and my dermatologist were slowly weaning me off of it. But then it started getting cold and I started breaking out again. And I always get more breakouts during the cold winter seasons. Something about having drier skin just makes me break out. So the next time I have an appointment with my dermatologist, I think I need another round of the antibiotics because my freaking skin is being Judas right now. Like I thought the whole acne thing, like we moved past this. I thought we were in a good place. And then before I set my face, I'm gonna go in with the Milani cream blushes. This is in the color Nude Kiss. I love these. I've done a dedicated video on these as well. If I remember correctly, it was a full review. It was a try on and a wear test because not all cream products work well with oily and acne skin. So that's something that was very important to me. I'm gonna use the same sponge that I use for my foundation. And you can see these are very pigmented. They last a pretty good amount of time, but in general, I like Milani blushes. I've tried the baked blushes, the Luminoso. I've also tried the pressed one. It looks like a flower. That one is okay. The only small gripe I have about it is after a certain time, you have to really dig into that blush to get pigment. Like you have to like rub into it. So what I've been doing instead is I actually spray the top with setting spray and then I go in with a brush and it seems to pick up a lot better that way. But it is a little bit hard to pick up product on that one. And as you can see, as you keep blending, it looks really nice. I think it was a little scary at the beginning. Me and you were a little worried, but just trust the process. I'm a big fan of these blushes, but in general, I like Milani blushes. They're really good. So if you don't want to go with the cream, I like the powders as well. I'm next gonna go in with bronzer. I'm using the Milani Supercharged Cheek and Lip Multi-Stick. So you can use this for your lips, I guess, as well. I obviously wouldn't use this color because I don't think it's flattering on me. It says it's a buildable wash-up color infused with emollient oils and squalene. I have used this a couple times off of camera. This is the first product where I am not a huge fan of this one. For one, the feeling of it is just too slick. There's just too much oil and not enough pigment. And you can see like the color, it looks like it's gonna show up on the skin and it does, but the minute you start to blend it, look, I'm barely touching it and it just evaporates. It's not even, see, just like that, it's basically gone. So when they say that this is a hint of color, I wouldn't even say that. It's like a hint of a hint of a hint of color. See how easy it was to just blend away? And if you just go over it again, I mean, it says that it's buildable. I mean, not really. It's so easy to just blend away, but I'll just show you on my face. So let's start out here, do a little bit on the nosy. I guess I might as well just do a little bit here as well. And then I'm gonna use the same sponge and voila, it's gone. What a waste of time and effort. Look at that. I don't see shit. And it's also, I don't like the feeling of it. It's just too oily. It feels slick and then it's gonna slip right off my face. I don't feel good about the feeling of it as well. So as you can see, maybe I see a little bit on my forehead, but everywhere else, it completely evaporated. I would skip this one. I, for some reason, didn't buy a powder. I don't know why I wouldn't do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Dermablend. I love this powder. You know what? I remember why. I didn't buy powder because I have so many of them, and one jar usually lasts me a year or two. So I thought to myself, why would I waste money on another powder when I have at least 10 of them, which means that I'm good for about a decade? It just seems kind of wasteful. I'm pretty sure that was my rationale. That sounds like me. But I'm only setting the areas where I put concealer, and then everywhere else will remain unset. I'm just gonna go in with Offline and add to cart one more time, and then just run that on my lower lash line. Ah! I stabbed my eye. I feel like the outer corner has no depth to it. It's just one shade. Like, they all kind of got blended together, unfortunately. I didn't want it to get dark. I'm gonna add Hit Snooze and Chill, and I'm gonna deepen this because I need a little bit of dimension here. Okay, so I think that looks better. I also went ahead and put Detox as an eyeshadow topper. So what I did is I kind of just like rubbed like this. I wanted less product because I didn't want to cover up the original shade. I just wanted this on top. So I got rid of some pigment and then I just pat it so that it lays on top and you can still see underneath, but it gives like the prettiest sparkle. Next, I'm gonna try the Milani lipsticks. This is in the shade Tied Up. I like the feel of these. These are very comfortable. They are very balmy. It's a mix between a lipstick and a chapstick for sure. I do see my natural lip color coming through, which doesn't bother me because I have changed my preferences a little bit. I like having more of a sheer lip, like a wash of color over my lips. So that's why I don't mind this. But if you're looking for something that's full coverage, this is not it. So for me, I like this, but just know that those are my preferences. If you're looking for something more full coverage, I also have the Amore lip matte creams. I love these. I've had these for years. Full coverage, not too drying, at least for me. They don't crack and they're just so easy to use. So if you're looking for something with more opacity, the liquid lips are where it's at. And then last but not least, I have the Fruit Fetish Make It Last Kiwi Watermelon Scented Setting Spray. I just wanted something different because I've tried the Milani Make It Last. I like that one. I just want to try something that I haven't tried before. The packaging looks exactly the same as the Milani Make It Last. Let me see the spray. Okay, nice mist. I need to smell that. Okay, I definitely smell the watermelon. I can get behind this. And this is the final look. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and that my insight was helpful, insightful, or at least entertaining. And if it was, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and feel free to comment down below what other types of videos you'd like to see from me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one.